in this session, I want to give you a better idea, elaborate a little bit more on a few tools that you can use to be able to assess the validity of your source, to come up with, help you come up with story ideas, to strengthen your reporting as much as possible using information that is publicly available. Of course, we won't be having much time to analyze every tool that's out there. There's numerous tools, open source ones that you can really get your hands on and learn more. But I will focus on a few, and then you can, of course, if you're more interested, you can refer back to them and learn more by really having more hands-on experience. So let me try to share my screen and show you a few of these tools. So this is the first tool that I want you to really see. It's who posted what. It is a tool that is really fun because it is helping you identify IDs from Facebook and IDs or information about accounts. And another tool that's really handy is the graph.tips. And this one is especially good for combining searches together, combining pieces of information that we really need to have together to create a focused result, a meaningful result. And so we're going to try to do an example. We're trying to go with, let's say, Kamala Harris. So again, who posted what is finding IDs. Graph.tips is combining searches. So we're trying to find, our first example will be with Kamala Harris because I think it's a little bit relevant due to her upcoming clash with Donald Trump for the presidency of the United States. And journalistically, you might want to expect to find something unusual. So the first thing that we're going to take this account, we're going to start from her hometown. Her hometown is Oakland, California. So you go on Facebook, we see that there's a bunch of different pages about Auckland. Let's find locations. And okay, so this sounds like it might be almost 200,000 likes. So it probably is the page of the location, the page of the specific location. So Kamala Harris is from Auckland. So you can see up here that in every URL of Facebook, there is this code which describes it's affiliated with the location. So I copy that code and I go to graph.tips because I want to clear the fields. So I want to know what happened in this page and if the name of Kamala Harris has been mentioned and in what context. So I insert the code, I add it as a filter, and then I say, okay, I want you to bring me results from a time when she was not so well known. I mean, I might be curious if anybody posted about her before she actually became the vice president. That was in 2020, or even before she was an attorney general of the U.S. So you try to figure out if there's something out there in the past about Kamala Harris that is might be useful now that she's been, the candidate, she's running for presidency, and maybe there's a post by somebody in the early years. And so I'm asking to get content from 2010 to 2016. It's a lot uh, uh, earlier than today. And now I say, look, the keywords are Kamala Harris, of course. This is the words, because I want to know again if in that location, in that Facebook page, which has so many visits, the name Kamala Harris has popped up, and so what I do is I add that filter as well, and as you can see down below, a small query has been created for me. If I open it to a different URL, we'll see if there's content relevant. And yes, there is. Dates back more than 10 years. Well, this is from 2014, 2015. And we can see that she's been included in various posts. This one is interesting because it says that it's, again, more than 10 years ago, and it's been shared heavily. And so it says here that there have been some banking settlements with the banks. This has been an Obama administration policy, and this person has been uh, critical of Barack Obama, and I think he says here that Kamala Harris thought that even she thought that this Obama deal uh, was not so successful. So he's talking about settlements with banks that left thousands of people betrayed. Might be something to look into, or down. You can see that there's people storming her offices in um, in um, in Auckland, demanding accountability for the many Trust Act violations across the state. So there have been problematic uh, aspects probably in this policy, and people are critical of her in her role as an attorney general. I'm just saying, and this is the idea, that by making use of tools like um, graph.tips, you can instantly get information about Kamala Harris and what she did, uh, in this time point in time before she was a candidate, um, and a candidate for the presidency, and even the vice president of the United States. Uh, so we might be able to find people who knew her before. We might be able to do that with a lot of people, but we can also do things like find people talking about a protest in a specific area, or people talking about the police in a specific region. Now, not everybody, not everybody posts a location, so we need to make sure that we consider the ways that people think about the information that they're putting online. So thinking about the language people are going to use, whether they'll be using technical words or angry words, whether they'll be using locations, or if they're trying to hide their location. It's another aspect that you want to understand. Um, and because many people want to stay anonymous. Um, and okay, another thing that you can do is, and let's go back to the who posted what tool. So this is the graph.tips. Who posted what is us trying here to find IDs. because if you go to the Kamala Harris and you try to find Kamala Harris page, so you see that this is her page, but there's no code affiliated with her Facebook page. So you can't just search by a code. You want to create that code. You want to get the system generate that code for you. So to scrape Facebook to get that URL, to get that code, that's why who posted what is essential. You copy the link, you go to who posted what, you paste it here, and this is the URL. If you request to find it, it's gonna take some time, but it will ultimately give us a result. Not initially, probably have to redo it. It says here that you have to wait a few seconds and try again because this sometimes trips the anti-scraping flag of Facebook. And yes, now we have the code that we need. We copy it, and now we go back to the graph.tips page. And now what we do, let's clear again the filters. So now what we do is we insert it here. We're inserting it in that field here that says posts from specific entity, from page or user. That's where we're pasting it. We're adding the filter. And now what we want to know, since we are in Kamala Harris page, is we want to know what has she been talking about in the past, not today, but in the past. What has she been talking about around a topic that interests us or can potentially be a good story, could make a good story? Is she talking about immigration? Is she talking about gay marriages? Is she talking about and what's your stance on you know I don't know, vegetarian people? I'm just thinking out loud, and that's what I will be exploring with you here because I really haven't uh, done this exercise before, to be honest. So you're filtering by date. Again, this is a time when she was not very famous. She was not very well known. She was, of course, a public figure, but not so much in the spotlight. So let's add that filter. So I'm sorry. Let me add this as a filter. Yes, and then from 2010 to 2016, it's a good 6-year period. And let me try to figure out, what has she said about immigration? Immigration is, of course, a very common thing. Yeah, and let's see. And there have been a lot of posts in September 2015. We need a thoughtful, collaborative solutions for immigration reform. You should of course think um, of the context when she was posting that and what was the timing like. But we can go even further back in time. She's pleased with the U.S. Supreme Court's decision that strikes down some of the components of Arizona's misguided, as she says, law about immigration. So again, maybe a very good indication that she wants to get to write a story about her stance as time went on. And it's really handy in that respect. So two examples revolving Kamala Harris. One, we're using the location where she came from, Oakland, California. It's a code that Facebook gives us, and we're exploring what she's been and how she's been depicted in that page, what posts have been uploaded with her name, with her pictures, with her participation, and then using her page without there's no code whatsoever when it comes to a Facebook uh, public figures Facebook page. We generate that with who posted what, and then we're using her page and a keyword that interests us, immigration or vegetarian or gay marriages, to see. And we go back in time, the time that is really interesting journalistically to see what has been said or what she has said about an issue at an earlier stage.